Hey, girlfriend, you know who you are. You have big, big dreams. You want to write a book, stand on a TED Talk stage, be a life coach offering wisdom from your RV in Montana, a cafe in Barcelona, or a beach chair in Tulum. Your other girlfriends and your family, they don't always get your biz savvy. Why do you want to leave your JOB? Because you're a C.A.T.S, aka coach, author, thought leader, and speaker. Meet other change makers like yourself and find out how they make it happen. This is the Big Meow podcast.
So I'm very curious, and I know my listeners are, of what a transpersonal hypnotherapist is.
So a transpersonal hypnotherapist is similar to clinical, but we bring in the element of spirit. And so it's kind of an opportunity to bridge the client with their spiritual beliefs and bring it into the session work.
That's fantastic. You know, it's not always in the clinical. Well, I work with psychologists in the work that I do, and I know that bringing the spirit in is rather newish, I think. And I really applaud you for bringing that into a clinical situation. So how do you work with clients?
I work with clients in a variety of ways. Typically, I am serving empaths, people overcoming, people pleasing, who have a hard time setting boundaries and accessing their self-care. So we do a little bit of coaching. I get clear on their goals, and then we dive into hypnotherapy.
And during their sessions, are you able, I imagine, to go into those places where, and you say, trauma, beyond trauma, where they can get beyond whatever is there as a block or a pain?
Absolutely. Hypnosis is just profound at getting to the roots and the origins of where challenges began. And so a lot of the times what I'm doing is I'm facilitating kind of a mediation between my client and their subconscious mind.
Wow. I've heard this being used also for people with addictions. Do you find that this is helpful to get through giving up something that sabotages your life, whether it be a substance or a thought pattern?
Oh, absolutely, because so many times people don't do things that are addictive because they want to. They're often filling a need. Sometimes that need is unconscious. So, of course, working with the unconscious and discerning what parts of them are engaging in this and what need it's fulfilling often can be all the difference.
So most people have a story. So why did you start this business?
I have experienced PTSD and complex PTSD multiple times in my life. And mainly my goal was to self-heal. And so someone that I admire is Richard Grannon, and he used coaching and a little bit of hypnosis. And so I thought, great, I'm going to try this. I'm going to resolve my challenges, my blocks, and then I'm going to go forward with life. Except when I got into it, the healing was immense. And it's like, oh, this is amazing. And I just really felt called to then take it out into the world and share it.
Wow. Thank you for that. I feel like the world's a better place if we could all operate from our non-trauma state. So thank you for doing that. So describe a recent challenge that you had to transcend.
A recent challenge is, when you become an entrepreneur, there's often, I should do this or I shouldn't do that, and things have to look a certain way until you begin and you realize, oh, wait a minute. There are multiple hats to wear, and I'm the one wearing them all. So learning that things won't always look the way that I want them to, and I don't have to reinvent the wheel every time either. I can go to people who've had experience.
That's you just led me into the next question, which is give us a piece of advice, one piece of advice for other women, other C.A.T.S, coaches, authors, thought leaders, and speakers, based on what you've learned from operating your own business.
Really, there are very few solid rights and wrongs, but really finding your own balance, your own key, creating your your own habits, your own rituals, it's going to take you a long way, and it's going to be so much more self-supporting and give you longevity.
So, who inspires you?
Well, I had mentioned Richard Branham, but also everyday people. All of us are on our own hero's journey, and we all have these heroic attributes and traits, often that we don't even realize. So I love working with all kinds of people and really helping them to acknowledge and champion that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know people that help other people in such a deep manner like you do. Share with us your daily self-care routine, because that's something that when you're in that helping role, sometimes, possibly not you, we forget to take care of ourselves. But what do you do to take care of yourself?
I love to practice emotional intelligence, so really taking time and space to come back to myself, assess my needs. It's kind of like building off a foundation. I start at ground zero and I think, what do I need today? Oftentimes I do muscle testing, which is kinesiology. So I speak to my own subconscious mind in finding out what I need and then supporting my needs. And sometimes that's going to another practitioner. I receive hypnosis as well. It really is potent.
That's amazing. So I'm curious, you're a hypnotherapist and you go to a hypnotherapist, I think that's incredibly healthy. But can you wrap circles around your hypnotherapist because you know the techniques?
No, because at that moment, I'm not trying to fulfill that role. I'm trusting, I'm working with someone, and I know that I can't do my own sessions. I wouldn't be able to be objective. So there's an element of, I'm trusting this person to lead and hold space for me.
Yeah. And so do you have advice for those that may be on the fence, like they know there's a calmer, there's a less anxious self, like just on the other side of this, what I call an electric fence. It may feel weird going through it, may really be painful, but on the other side. What is your piece of advice for that person who is ready, like toes on the edge, but not quite there? What would you say to them?
I say that they're at the most uncomfortable point in their journey, and then on the other side is just the road to possibility and all the things that they've wanted. So right now they're in the suck of it, they're in the discomfort, and just on the other side is what they've been hoping to expand into and to go for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Describe in 1, 2, or 3 words what the other side is like looking back. You can talk from your own experience if you'd like.
Oh my goodness, so many times over. Yes, there were so many times where I thought, oh my God, this is going to literally end me. And we often hold those beliefs. And you think, I don't know if I can go on without this person, without this situation, without this one thing in my life. And then when you do get to the other side and you look back and you're like, oh wow, the whole world was just waiting to open for me. And I just needed to find a bit of courage and walk with the fear, go with it and go through it. And it's like, wow, that really was like an initiation from the universe. And I just had to say yes and believe in myself.
And you feel stronger. I can feel it in your voice, on the other side. So what's next? What's next for you? Do you have a big vision for yourself?
Absolutely. I'm currently writing a book because I know that so many other people are going to see themselves through my story and then identify some big things for themselves as well. So that's a huge goal that I'm working on this year. And moving forward, just creating more programs for people to have more support and to help them reach their goals.
So you do things remotely, or are you just locally working with people?
I'm a hybrid. I am 50-50.
Mm-hmm. So how do we get in touch with you? How can people connect with you to find your work something they need?
Absolutely. So my website is the key place to go. It is healingbeyondtrauma.com. I'm also on Meetup, so I host regular groups in person and virtual.
That's fantastic. And I do know the power of community. Well,
yes.
Yes. Is there anything else you'd like, a little nugget of wisdom before we close our interview?
Just love yourself and trust yourself. One thing that I came to realize was I have to live with me every day of my life, and I'm the only one who will. And if I'm not betting on me, if I'm not choosing on me, no one else will. Choose you.
Oh, what a beautiful way to end our interview. Thank you so much for being with us today, and I really send you lots of love and luck and gratitude for what you're doing for all of us in your world.
Thank you so much. You as well.
Thanks for listening to the Big Meow podcast, sponsored by C.A.T.S Network. If you liked what you heard, please take a moment to subscribe and share this podcast with your friends. You can also join our network filled with positivity and possibility. Visit www.catsnetworking.com to join us and learn more, together with your magical, motivated, and mystical new friends at C.A.T.S Network. Let's transform 1 million lives with your message. Are you feeling isolated sitting at home in your PJs? Or perhaps you're tired of the comfy sweatpants with holes in them that are hidden just below the camera? I mean, you could puke at the thought of another day of Zoom meetings and reporting to your BOSS. Do you want freedom from your home office desk or the office cubicle? Do you want freedom from your current career? Or are you frustrated that your online biz dreams are going nowhere? It's all too overwhelming. Where do you start? All the tech, the choices, and your message. Yep, I said your message, your brand, your voice. What is it? Do you even know what that means? Do you need a biz coach but don't want to invest the big bucks? Let's face it, being a solopreneur is lonely, but you don't have to do it alone. And here's a solution. Join C.A.T.S Network. C.A.T.S Network is a woman-only membership community exclusively available to you, the life coach or executive coach, the author, the thought leader, or the public speaker. If you identify with this list or want to work on adding some of these to your skill set, C.A.T.S is the place for you. Check us out at www.catsnetworking.com. That's C.A.T.S networking.com. Because let's face it, cats are better together.